From death-defying aerial feats to perilous missions behind enemy lines, these are the untold stories of survival against all odds. Number 10. The Untold Perils of the Pacific Theater. Missions that defied death. World War II was a global conflict that engulfed much of the world in violence and destruction. Within this vast theater of war, the Pacific Theater stood out as one of the most brutal and unforgiving battlegrounds. Spanning a vast area from the eastern coast of Asia to the western shores of the Americas, this theater witnessed some of the most intense and harrowing battles in human history. The conflicts in the Pacific were characterized by fierce resistance from both sides, with the Japanese and American forces displaying remarkable tenacity and resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. These battles were not only fought between two formidable opponents, but also against the elements themselves. The harsh conditions of the Pacific Ocean, with its unpredictable weather patterns and treacherous currents, added another layer of difficulty to the already perilous missions undertaken by soldiers. Amidst this backdrop of immense challenges and sacrifices, the soldiers of the Pacific Theater displayed extraordinary courage, determination, and ingenuity. They faced their adversaries head-on, demonstrating remarkable bravery and strategic brilliance in their efforts to achieve victory. Their stories of survival against all odds are a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. Number 9. Operation Market Garden. The most audacious and deadly Allied mission. Operation Market Garden was an ambitious and deadly Allied mission that took place during World War II, specifically on September 17, 1944. This daring operation involved the largest airborne assault in the history of warfare at that time, with over 34,000 Allied troops, including British, Canadian, American, and German paratroopers being dropped into the Netherlands with the goal of securing several bridges over the Rhine River. The mission aimed to establish a corridor through which Allied tanks and other reinforcements could pass, enabling them to advance into Germany and ultimately end the war. However, due to a combination of factors, including poor weather conditions, miscommunication, and strong German resistance, the operation ultimately failed. Despite its ambitious goals, Market Garden resulted in heavy casualties for the Allied forces, with thousands of soldiers killed, wounded, or captured. The failure of the operation had significant consequences for the overall war strategy and led to a change in plans for the subsequent Allied offensives. Despite its tragic outcome, Operation Market Garden remains a pivotal moment in military history, showcasing the complexities and risks of large-scale operations during wartime. No. 8. Behind enemy lines. The most risky espionage operations of WWII. The espionage missions during World War II were fraught with danger and intrigue as secret agents infiltrated enemy territories to gather intelligence and disrupt enemy operations. These missions often involved high levels of risk and secrecy as operatives sought to remain undetected while carrying out their objectives. One notable example of a risky espionage operation during World War II was the mission undertaken by Juan Pujol Garcia, a Spanish con man who spied for the British during the war. Garcia successfully infiltrated Nazi Germany and provided valuable intelligence to the Allies, all while living under the assumed identity of a high-ranking Nazi official. His daring mission involved navigating the treacherous world of espionage and deception, showcasing the extreme lengths to which spies went during the war. Another daring mission was carried out by Virginia Hall, a U.S. diplomat who spied for the French resistance during the war. Despite facing numerous obstacles and betrayals, Hall managed to evade capture by the Nazis and continued to provide vital intelligence to the Allies. Her story highlights the resilience and determination of female spies, during a time when women were often relegated to support roles. Number 7. The most daring rescues. Soldiers who defied the odds in combat. Amidst the chaos and uncertainty of combat, there have been instances where soldiers have defied the odds and executed daring rescues, showcasing remarkable bravery and quick thinking in the face of danger. One such incident occurred during the Vietnam War when a U.S. helicopter crew rescued an injured soldier from a heavily forested region. Despite facing enemy fire and challenging terrain, the helicopter crew successfully landed and evacuated the soldier, displaying exceptional skill and courage. Similarly, during the war in Afghanistan, a group of U.S. Navy SEALs conducted a daring rescue mission to save a captain who had been captured by the Taliban. Through a well-coordinated operation, the Navy SEALs infiltrated the enemy stronghold and successfully rescued the captain, showcasing the precision and bravery required for such missions. These daring rescues serve as testaments to the courage and resilience of soldiers who put their lives on the line to save their comrades. Number 6. Exploring the most treacherous front lines of World War II, a soldier's nightmare. The front lines of World War II were among the most treacherous and unforgiving battlefields in history, where soldiers faced unimaginable horrors and made extraordinary sacrifices. The Western Front, particularly the battlefields of France and Belgium, was notorious for its intense fighting and devastating consequences. Soldiers on this front endured brutal trench warfare, constant shelling, and the threat of enemy attack, facing conditions that tested their physical and mental endurance. The Eastern Front, primarily fought between Germany and the Soviet Union, was marked by immense scale and brutality. Battles like Stalingrad and Kursk involved massive deployments of troops and heavy weaponry, resulting in staggering casualties on both sides. The soldiers on the Eastern Front faced freezing temperatures, limited supplies, and relentless enemy attacks, enduring hardships that pushed them to the limits of human endurance. The Pacific Theater witnessed fierce battles between the Japanese and American forces, such as the Battle of Iwo Jima and the Battle of Okinawa. Soldiers in the Pacific faced intense close-quarters combat, limited medical facilities, and the psychological toll of fighting in remote and isolated locations. Overall, the front lines of World War II were a microcosm of the war's global scale and brutality, leaving an indelible mark on those who fought there. Number 5. The most perilous recon missions of World War II. A journey into danger. The recon missions during World War II were fraught with peril as soldiers ventured into enemy territory to gather intelligence and map out strategic locations. These missions often involved infiltrating hostile areas, observing enemy activities, and escaping detection, exposing the soldiers to great danger and uncertainty. One perilous recon mission was carried out by members of the British Special Air Service during the North African Campaign. These soldiers infiltrated German positions to gather information about enemy defenses and troop movements, facing the risk of capture or death if discovered. Their bravery and stealth allowed them to acquire vital intelligence that aided the Allied forces in planning their subsequent operations. Similarly, during the invasion of Normandy, American and British paratroopers carried out reconnaissance missions to identify suitable landing sites and assess the strength of German defenses. These soldiers faced intense enemy fire and the challenge of navigating unfamiliar terrain, but their efforts were crucial in ensuring the success of the D-Day invasion. These dangerous recon missions highlight the bravery and strategic importance of these soldiers in gathering critical information during some of the most intense battles of World War II. No. 4. Unmasking the secrets of World War II's most hazardous operations. The hazardous operations of World War II were among the most dangerous and ambitious military endeavors of their time, involving great risks and high stakes. These operations often involved complex strategies, massive deployments of troops, and advanced tactics, pushing the boundaries of military capability and endurance. One notable example was the D-Day invasion, which involved the Allied forces' invasion of Nazi-occupied France. This massive operation required meticulous planning and coordination and involved thousands of ships, aircraft, and troops. The success of the DID invasion was crucial in establishing a foothold in Western Europe and ultimately liberating France from Nazi control. Another hazardous operation was the Battle of Midway, a pivotal naval battle in the Pacific Theater. The U.S. Navy's victory at Midway inflicted a devastating blow on the Japanese Navy and marked a turning point in the war. The battle involved intense air and sea combat, and required skilled navigation and tactical maneuvering by the U.S. forces. These hazardous operations not only pushed the limits of military strategy and tactics, but also showcased the courage and sacrifice of the men and women who participated in them. Number 3. When survival was a gamble. The most dangerous air missions of World War II. The air missions during World War II were perilous and demanded great skill, courage, and precision from the pilots and air crews. These missions often involved flying under enemy fire, navigating challenging terrains, and delivering vital payloads, exposing the airmen to constant danger and uncertainty. One of the most dangerous air missions was the bombing raids over Germany. The Allied air forces carried out extensive bombing campaigns against German cities and industrial centers. Flying over heavily defended German airspace required navigating anti-aircraft fire, dodging enemy fighters, and enduring the stress of high-altitude bombing runs. The pilots and air crews faced the constant threat of injury or death, making every mission a gamble for survival. Similarly, the fighter missions during World War II were equally perilous. Pilots engaged in intense dogfights with enemy aircraft, relying on their reflexes, gunnery skills, and knowledge of their planes. These aerial battles often resulted in the downing of aircraft and the loss of life, highlighting the risks and intensity of air warfare. These dangerous air missions were a testament to the bravery and skill of the airmen who served in World War II, showcasing the courage and determination required to succeed in the face of such danger. Number 2. Operation Overlord. The high-stakes daring assault that changed history. Operation Overlord was a meticulously planned and high-stakes daring assault that marked a pivotal moment in World War II. Launched on June 6, 1944, it aimed to liberate Nazi-occupied France and open a new front in the war, led by the Allied forces. The operation involved a massive amphibious invasion across the English Channel, codenamed D-Day. Tens of thousands of soldiers, including American, British, Canadian, and French troops, stormed the beaches of Normandy, facing fierce resistance from the German defenders. Despite heavy casualties, the Allied forces successfully established a foothold in France, marking a significant turning point in the war. Operation Overlord not only demonstrated the determination and bravery of the Allied nations, but also set in motion a chain of events that ultimately led to the defeat of Nazi Germany and the liberation of Europe. Its impact on the course of history is undeniable. solidifying its place as a defining moment of the 20th century. Number 1. Daring to defy death. The most risky naval missions of World War II revealed. The naval missions during World War II were fraught with danger and demanded great skill, precision, and bravery from the sailors and crew members. These missions often involved engaging in intense battles, navigating treacherous waters, and delivering critical supplies, exposing the sailors to constant peril and uncertainty. One of the most risky naval missions was the sinking of the Bismarck. The German battleship Bismarck was a formidable war machine that posed a serious threat to the British naval forces. In May 1941, the Royal Navy engaged the Bismarck in a battle that lasted several days, despite being damaged and outnumbered. The British forces relentlessly pursued the Bismarck until it was eventually sunk, showcasing the determination and tenacity of the sailors involved. Similarly, the U-boat attacks on merchant ships were equally perilous. German U-boats operated in the Atlantic Ocean, targeting merchant ships carrying vital supplies. These attacks often involved intense battles between the U-boats and the merchant ship escorts, with both sides utilizing advanced weaponry and tactics. The risk of life and limb was ever present, highlighting the intensity and danger of these naval engagements. These daring naval missions during World War II were a testament to the skill, bravery, and sacrifice of the sailors and crew members who served, showcasing their courage and determination in the face of danger.